Welcome to this week's training vlog, week 6. That's 6 weeks to go to the event, not 6 weeks into my training block. Today is December 22nd, Wednesday. I just finished my training session for today, so I am a little bit wrecked. But by this time, you've probably noticed that I've been showing you my physical metrics from various devices that I collect data from. So let me give you some explanation. I'm not some neurotic gadget junk having all these different things, because they pretty much all do something similar. So let me kind of tell you why I have those things and why I have multiple things and which one I'm gonna end up dumping soon. So I'm in IT. I run multiple businesses, and most of my the biggest business that I most focus on is my IT business, and consequently I run IT for multiple different companies. Some of them are global Fortune 500 company, some of them are just a US Fortune 500 that I also take care of mom and pop businesses as well, and everything in between, small to mid-sized business. Long story short, my phone is going off at all times. Text messages, phone calls, emails. Now, pulling out my iPhone every single time, it's a bit of a pain in the ass. So I've been loving Apple Watch for the last 4 or 5 years. Over the different generations, they also, the Apple Watches do like the ECG checks and different things, right? You can, the blood oxygen level. I'm not here to debate how accurate those measurements are, but basically being able to look at the incoming messages and stuff on my watch, a lot more convenience, because sometimes it's rude for me to bust out the phone and read something when I'm sitting in a meeting and such. And also it saves battery from the phone because I'm not constantly flashing the screen. So Apple Watch is great. Only problem with it is the battery life is dismal, but that's it here, neither here nor there. So I've been waiting. I was hoping that the new Apple Watch this year, 2021, would come out with the long rumored constant glucose monitoring. As you guessed from the name of this channel, I'm diabetic. It is very important that I stay on top of my glucose reading, because I don't want to go into hyperketoacidosis shock like I did a couple of years ago. Also, I don't want to go into hypoketoacidosis where my glucose level is too low, especially if I'm out on a really hard ride and such. That's the last thing I would want. So I was hoping the Apple Watch would come out with that, but it didn't. Probably it's going to be included in the next year's watch. So that leads to constant glucose monitoring. I'm going to share with you my story later on in a different episode, but a couple of years ago I almost lost my life, unfortunately, because despite the fact that I was diabetic, I really didn't take care of myself very well, thinking I was super healthy because of all the riding that I did. Consequently, I was just a very fit man. I was not a very healthy man. Nonetheless, so since then, it was a rude awakening. Fast forward to 2021, I've been taking really good care of myself, and part of that is I'm staying on top of my sugar reading like a hawk. Now, earlier this year, I adopted a constant glucose monitoring right here. So it's a sensor that gets attached to me. So the sensor gets recycled every 2 weeks. I put on a new sensor. Very small, tiny needle being inserted into the fatty tissue of the upper arm here. And then the sensor will draw and create reading every like 15 minutes, every 20 minutes, I forget. And then you pair this with your phone, and then through NFC, the phone will take the blood glucose reading off of this and show me. So that's what I also show you every morning when I capture that from my fasting state overnight. Lately it's running a little higher than I would like, so I need to work on that. But so that's one of the things that I have. And then I'm gonna then talk about the Oura ring. I don't wear it right now, but I do wear it when I go to sleep. So I adopted Oura ring earlier this year, like spring. I wanted to see, like, because the COVID was rampant, Oura ring can detect your body temperature irregularity, because you know one of the COVID's symptom is the elevated body temperature, and you know, coupled with that, it gives you various metrics such as your heart rate variability and your sleep score, all that. Love it. It's portable, great. Here's the problem. I'm a mega super germaphobe. I wash my hands basically 2 million times a day, and that's before COVID. So after COVID, I'm washing my hands 4 million times a day. So every time I have to take the ring out, because otherwise I hate the feeling of that wetness right under the ring where the ring meets the skin. So I don't wear the ring while I wash my hands. I always have to take it off. So then I have to put it back on, take it off, put it back. Pain in the ass. Hence, I only wear it at nighttime. So because of the fact that I couldn't wear it during daytime, also Oura ring has little slightly iffy results in like activity tracking. So it was somewhat a moot point for me to wear it during the daytime. That got me to the Oura band. So you would have seen the Oura band from GCN guys like Ollie Bridgewood. You also, if you watch Vegan Cyclist, Tyler wears Oura band and he shows you his score all the time. So I also adopted Oura because I wanted to see if it's better than the Oura ring. So Oura is great because you wear it, you could change out the band, you got some flexibility in terms of stuff like that. Also, it's on the wrist or the forearm, so it gets away from, gets out of the way when I have to wash my hands 4 million times a day. So that's nice. All that is great. Battery life is great. You could go 3-4 days in one charge, no problem. Activity tracking, great. Here's where a little bit of a problem. What I started to notice is it would give me certain score in the morning or whatever. And I would look at it and kind of go, why does that number look weird? So like for instance, the REM sleep reading from Oura band will be different than REM sleep reading from the Oura ring. HRV may be slightly different. So all those things are a little bit off. Now, of course, different devices will use different algorithm. So basically, I kind of look at the numbers and go, I sort of try to use the average between the two, like the deep sleep number, and the Oura band will give you the recovery score. Oura ring will give you readiness score, all based on how much sleep, rest, activity, all that combined together. So with that said, even like the heartbeat will be different. So there's some inconsistency there between the devices. Now, some say Oura ring will give you better accuracy because of the fact that the sensors are closer to the blood vessels or whatever. So that got me, and we're gonna then rewind back a little bit about the whole Apple Watch thing. Battery's dismal. I'm getting old. I really can't see the tiny font on the watch. So, and then I found out the other companies now have watches that are iOS compatible, unlike the earlier days. So, and being in IT, you'd think I would have known that sooner, but I'm enterprise IT. I don't do consumer gadgets. So, I picked up the I picked up Garmin Instinct through Black Friday this year. So Garmin Instinct, big dial, gives you big font so I can read things much easier. Has a lot of features like the GPS, gives you heart rate monitoring, gives you all kinds of different features. Battery life is epic. One charge could last me, what, 5-6 days. Great, because it doesn't use the like the iPhone. It doesn't use like the Apple Watch or the Fossil smartwatches, Samsung Galaxy watches, that kind of high resolution bright LED display. It's more or less old school type of display. So battery life is much better and a lot more legible. The haptic feedback when it vibrates, awesome. Now here's another quandary that the watch introduced. I will go out on the ride. I'm looking at my heart rate. I am dying. I would be climbing 11% climb. I could feel my heart about to jump out of my freaking throat. I have the Whoop band broadcasting my heart rate number to my cycling computer, and the heart rate will read 90. And I'm like, there's no way I'm beating 90 right now. So I would look at my watch's heart rate monitor and it would read something closer to actual reading, like 170, you know, whatever it may be. You give about 15-20 seconds, then the computer will reflect something more realistic number coming out of Whoop. So it seems like there's a pretty decent gap in time where Whoop's number is being broadcasted to like smart devices to pick up the number through Bluetooth. But also at the same time, that doesn't really mean this is always accurate either. I noticed this thing is somewhat erratic. Sometimes it would read a little too low, it would read a little too high. Now unfortunately, I don't have ability to broadcast the HR heart rate number out of this to the computer or Oura ring to the computer. Only thing that's doing that right now is my Whoop band, and I really hate the chest strap, so I'm not wearing that, despite that's probably the most accurate one to use. So anyhow, right now I'm in sort of a trial mode to see which one would give me the best result to everything. Right now the CGM sensor is going to stay because nothing else is doing this. So that's going to be here until hopefully Apple Watch next year could do glucose reading. So that'll be here. This thing is expensive. It's, what is it? $300 every 30 days? Is it 200? Whatever. Pretty expensive, but you know, I live with diabetes, so there you go. That's that. So out of the Ring and the Whoop band and the Garmin Instinct, I'll see what's up. Now, that said, my Oura Ring is not the latest generation. They just came out with one a couple months ago. I'm not going to order that one. That said, I did order the Whoop band 4.0 that is here. So while I'm doing the recovery spin here, we'll go ahead and open this up and see what it's all about. Now, the new Whoop band 4.0 apparently has body temperature reading and some other things that the Oura Ring already had. So, and I'm also hoping this has a little bit better accuracy than the Ep.3 that I have. Okay, so nothing really fancy. We have a thing, cardboard. Let's open it up and see. Now, if you want a little bit more in-depth review of Whoop band 4.0 or Whoop band 4.0 versus 3.0, let me know. I will go ahead make a video for that. Okay, so the first thing I see is a, put that down, has the band. I just ordered the regular straight up black band, and has the new sensor. Seems a little smaller. I don't know if that'll focus. And let me cover my face. Does that focus? Anyhow, so it looks, the sensor itself will look a little bit smaller. So that's better, I think. So anyhow, I'll use this and from now on and see what it's all about. And then in the case you have your charging cable, the charging adapter, which this is what you charge, and then you put this on your strap, the sensor part, to inject the charge into your Whoop device, and then some other documentation. So nothing really to unbox, nothing fancy going on in there. Alright, that's enough riding today. That's enough talking today. So today's Wednesday. I'm gonna do a recovery spin tomorrow. I'll take Friday off. Gonna go on outdoor riding on Saturday. Enjoy bikes like they're meant to be, ridden outside, fresh air. It's gonna be pretty cold there. It's about 33 degrees in the morning. Anyhow, so I'll put down some big miles on Saturday to keep the training going. And then it's Christmas. Good morning, December 25th, Christmas Day 2021. Today I'm gonna hook up with boys here, local group of guys that ride, and hook up with them, and then go out on a group ride. Enjoy cycling outside like how it's meant to be. That said, this front wheel that I'm riding today, the tubeless was breached a couple of weeks ago and I haven't had time to deal with it. So this morning I quickly put an inner tube in there. Now I have this mega wobble. I don't think the camera is going to capture it, but basically it's bumping each rotation of the wheel, so it kind of sucks. It is what it is. All right. Okay, I rode about 40 miles with my friends over here, and then I said bye, and then I'm putting in some extra miles, and this mistake was made because this stretch over here, mega headwind, and I'm pretty tired from the group ride, so it's miserable, but so goes cycling. That's how it works.